Welcome to this episode of Homeland. As Indian journalists, we have been analyzing about Trump's relationship with India hereon in Trump 2.0 administration. But an important question is as much about his relationship with China hereon and how that will impact India. Now, Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign did have mentions about China already. It was on trade, national security, foreign policy, and America First approach vis-a-vis China. Let me take you back to his first stint as the president when he officially took charge from 2017 to 2020. Donald Trump had taken a softer approach initially, engaging diplomatically with the Chinese, even hosting Xi Jinping at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida in 2017. He basically attempted to use China's influence to curb North Korea's nuclear intentions, get them to the negotiating table. Trump even went on to publicly praise Xi Jinping at one point for what he believed helped America with North Korea. So that was his approach initially. But the cooperation did not last long. By the next year, 2018, tariffs were being imposed on China. Observers say a full-blown trade war ensued between the two countries. Today, by 2024, a lot has changed. The United States of America and China are two nations that are the top two large economies of the world. One is a Western democracy, another is a communist dictatorship in Asia. So their competition is also understandable on many issues, including whose aggressive, assertive nature is justified. Meanwhile, adjacent to China is India, a democracy like the United States of America, one of the big stable countries right now in Asia, while other neighbor nations are collapsing, specifically when it comes to their economy and the political situation. India is also the fastest growing economy, as the International Monetary Fund has said. It's on the way to becoming a manufacturing hub and much more. And India and China, meanwhile, are also caught in a friction relationship. Low confidence, clashes, competition, even though there has been consistent efforts diplomatically, but we all know not to really trust China unless it also serves India's domestic interest. China may not be happiest with India's growth. America possibly likes it, but it all remains importantly if it does not in any way hamper the kind of dominance that USA would like to have. Trump has earlier hinted that administration will possibly impose about 60% tariff on all Chinese exports to the United States of America. Now, that could turn disastrous for the Chinese economy, especially at the time when their economy is also in a bad shape, isn't the best projected growth like that of the USA. As per the Associated Press, 2.5% decrease has been projected in China's economic growth. During the previous term, tariffs worth a whopping $360 billion was imposed on Chinese products by the USA. Eventually, a deal was signed between the two countries and the tempers lowered. The USA's policy on China has been basically of constant competition, at least in terms of trade and influence geopolitically. But the one factor that stops USA possibly from direct competition is the distance. So for America, who is the dushman ka dushman dost? India, right next to the border of China. For India, the high population means high workforce. Currently, with a population of over 1.45 billion people, India clearly has a high population right now. China is close behind. But this high population also means possibility of a high workforce if tapped well. Growing in contribution globally, especially in the USA, to counter China's influence in the Indo-Pacific, India's role becomes pivotal in the regional stability. India is an important trade partner for America already. The relationship is going to get better. As per India Today reports, since 1999, our exports to the USA have gone up from what usually earlier was $10.45 billion to $120 billion in 2023. India's goal cannot be to become the next China. With civilizational ethos, resurgence, diversity, democracy, and much more, India can actually aim to become much better. From Apple to Nokia to Boeing, even Samsung, many global companies are planning or have already established themselves in India. Therefore, every step is important, specifically in the kind of deals and discussions that are being done. India and the United States should certainly look forward to a good relationship, especially as Prime Minister Narendra Modi from India and Donald Trump from the USA have become friends as well. So it is as much a personal relationship as it is political. But India needs to also be cautious and detached. In October 2024, remember that Donald Trump had said India is a nation that imposes one of the highest tariffs on foreign goods and vowed to his people to reciprocate this against India when he's elected to the government. So that will be something to watch out for. Remember that America needs India in many ways to counter China's dragon, and we need America to fix our deserving place among global powers. This is not a quid pro quo, but it's also about Indians being acknowledged of our value. So the USA will get friendly with India, but Indians should not mistake this nature as permanent. Each country looks out for their own interests, and the USA is not different. The Trump presidency could mean well for India, but it could also mean possibly higher tariff rates, which would mean higher prices for us in foreign goods and in our country. That is something that India, especially as fastest growing economy, will have to look forward to. So there will be many checks and balances, but this will be one relationship to watch out for: USA, India and China. Thank you for watching.